So what are the top 10 things you need in a home studio for voiceover? Okay, so before we get into everything, don't forget to check out our recommended equipment link that you can find in the description of this video. Okay, let's start with computer. And no, we're not going to get into the Mac versus PC debate here. Anytime any of my students ask me which one they should get, I always ask them, which one are you using right now, or which one have you used for most of your life? And that's your answer. We're not composing music for film and TV, and we're not editing video that's 4K, 6K, or 8K, so everything you're gonna need can be found in a basic computer. So in other words, you don't need to go spend a ton of money on a beast of a machine just to do voiceover. The main things that I would look out for here is that your computer has 8 to 16 gigabytes of RAM, and make sure it has a big enough SSD to store all of your files. 500 gigabytes would probably do you just fine, but if you wanted to play it safe, you could get a computer with a 1 terabyte hard drive. If going with a Mac, I always suggest the Mac Mini. It's a tiny powerhouse. Now, the new Macs with the M1 chip, they started out pretty rough with a lot of compatibility issues, which is to be expected with anything new to the market. But to my knowledge, they have worked out all of those compatibility issues at the time of this video, or at least they've gotten very close to working them all out. Now, for a laptop, I would suggest the new MacBook Air. The great thing about the new MacBook Air is it doesn't have a fan in it, which is awesome, and that means that you can actually take it into the booth with you when recording. In most cases, I would try to make sure the computer is outside the booth at all times, but like I said, this doesn't have a fan, so go for it. If going with PC, the Dell XPS line is a great way to go. You can choose from an all-in-one version, much like an iMac, or you can go with the traditional tower. For a laptop here, I would also go with the XPS line of laptops. These are solid laptops that give you way more than you need for voiceover. Now, for this next section, I actually teach 2 classes over Zoom all about recording software, but I'll save those details for the end of the video. Okay, so now that you've got the computer, you need to buy recording software or a DAW, digital audio workstation, for you to be able to edit your audio in. This could be Audacity, Adobe Audition, Twisted Wave, GarageBand, Pro Tools, and a slew of others. The main thing to take away here is if you're just starting out or if you don't have very much knowledge, I would not start on something like Pro Tools. This would be like the first time you've ever learned how to drive, but instead of learning on a car, they taught you on a spaceship. You'd see all of the knobs and faders and buttons and bright lights on the console, and you would freak out and have no idea what to do. Software like Adobe Audition, Twisted Wave, or Audacity, those were specifically made for voice actors, whereas Pro Tools was made for multi-track editing, so sound design or composing for film or TV or music production. Now, of course, you can do voiceover with Pro Tools, it's just, again, not made for it, so it's really convoluted and it would be really overwhelming for someone who's never done this before. Now, Adobe Audition is the most widely used DAW for voice actors, and it can actually do way more than just voiceover work. It can actually function as a multi-track DAW just like Pro Tools. But the great thing about it is if you never want to go that deep with it, you don't have to. You can keep it super simple and just use it as a single track DAW for voiceover. All right, microphone. So again, before going into this, don't forget to check out our recommended equipment page. You can find it in the description of this video. Now, I've already done a few videos on microphones, so I'm not going to go into a ton of detail here, but don't forget to check out the rest of the videos I've done. You can find those in the description of this video as well. You obviously need something to capture your voice and then record into your DAW, and that would be your microphone. They come in all various shapes and sizes, but here are the main things that you need to know. Number 1. Your microphone will not make your audio sound professional, no matter what you hear anybody else say. 70 to 80% of how you acoustically treat the space you're recording in is what will make your audio sound professional. Now, as I've said in the other videos that you can see, the microphone can definitely matter, but like I said, 70 to 80% of your audio quality is how you acoustically treat your space. Dynamic microphones like the Shure SM7B were not made for professional voiceover work. The Shure SM7B is an awesome microphone and I absolutely love it, but it's just not made for what we do. There's a reason you never see top talent in top studios like DreamWorks, Disney, Marvel, Pixar, just to name a few, using this microphone. If you're doing podcasts or you're James Hetfield for Metallica, then this microphone's gonna be awesome. Think about it like this. If you buy a microphone and then have to buy a gain booster like a Cloud Lifter or a Fethead on top of that, just to make that microphone perform like a microphone that's already made for voiceover, like a Rode NT1, for example, yeah, that might be your answer. You've now spent $400 on a Shure SM7B plus $150 on a cloud lifter when you could have just spent $270 on a Rode NT1. But if you want to add extra steps in there, then okay. But you can see my entire video that I did all about the Shure SM7B for VoiceOver in the description of this video. And number 3, USB microphones are getting awesome and technology is progressing super, super fast. But at the time of this video, most USB microphones are still not quite professional enough to be used for top-level voiceover work, especially right now with where the industry has gone due to the C word. I also did a full video about how the C word affected the voiceover industry and your audio quality. You can find that video in the description as well. Interface. So I recently did a video all about interfaces that you can also find in the—
Oh my God, are you actually gonna teach them anything in this video, or are you just gonna keep redirecting them to another video?
Okay, so you need something to power your microphone and transmit the data from that microphone to your DAW. That something is coffee. That something is an interface. This is also something that you don't need to spend a ton of money on. Take the Focusrite Solo, for example. Super affordable and sounds great. You do not need to go out and buy an Apollo Twin to make your audio sound great. I talk about this and—
Wait, let me guess. You talk about this in another video. What a joke.
Yep. Okay, so you're gonna need something to hold your microphone while you read, and I actually did a video on— I'm just joking. I didn't do a video on this yet. I might, but I haven't yet. But I always recommend an arm over a stand, and here's a couple of reasons why. Number 1, a stand actually takes up floor space, and most of us are in really small spaces to begin with, like a closet or a small booth. So anything we can do to not take up more space is best. It's much easier to accidentally kick a stand because it takes up so much floor space, and the vibration from that kick will travel all the way up the stand and into the microphone, and that's not gonna sound good. I love the Rode PSA one, that's what I have at home, but there's a couple of other good ones like the Gator Framework arms or the Yellowtech arms if you want to take out a loan or sell your kidneys. Pop shield. Okay, now I am actually doing a video on this soon.
Of course you are!
I feel a very particular way about pop shields. I don't much like them, but I'll save that for the video that I'm doing. But if you insist on using them, they're supposed to prevent gusts of air from making its way into the microphone. For example, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. They're supposed to stop the peas from popping the microphone. I don't know about you, I wouldn't be speaking into the microphone that way. So for a shotgun microphone, I would go for the Hook Studios Octo Shield. For a large diaphragm condenser microphone, I would go with the Haken P110 pop shield. You can very easily clean this pop shield, which is awesome. And it's said to cause absolutely no coloration to the audio whatsoever. Headphones and monitors. And no, I don't mean your computer monitor screen, I mean like speakers. They call them monitors because you are monitoring your audio on them. They just want to be confusing, so. If going with headphones, at the moment, I've actually been really loving the Audio-Technica ATH line of headphones. I use the 30s at home and I use the 40s here at work. What I like about them is they don't have any massive boosts in the EQ curve of the headphones, so there's not, for example, like a massive boost in the upper mids like there are on the Sony MDR 7506 headphones. So what's good about that is that makes the Audio-Technica headphones I just spoke about really good for editing and mixing your audio on because you know what you're hearing is more accurately what you captured when you were recording the audio, whereas with the Sonys, there's a really, really crazy boost in the upper mids, and so it makes a lot of people feel like or sound like they have crazy amounts of sibilance when they really don't. So it's causing your audio to sound a certain way that it doesn't really sound and it wasn't captured like. So it tricks you into taking away a lot of that upper high-end frequencies in your audio when really you don't need to. It's just the headphones that make it sound like it's got a lot of that in the audio. So let's use Beats by Dre, for example. Beats headphones have a lot of bass built into those headphones so that when you're listening to music, you have an enhanced amount of bass in the music, and a lot of people like that. So they would be good for listening to music on, but they would not be good for mixing any kind of music or audio on. So let's just take Voiceover, for example. If I was wearing Beats headphones and I was mixing my voice on those headphones, I would think, oh my God, I have a lot of bass in my voice, when really I don't. It's just there's a lot of bass in those headphones. And so if I ended up taking out a lot of bass because I thought I had a lot of bass in my voice, my voiceover would end up sounding very thin because the headphones tricked me. I feel like I could have explained that a little better. Here's A and here's B, and I feel like I just kind of did this to get to B. Okay, now on to monitors. So I've had a pretty good experience with these Persona speakers as of late. I recently got them for editing here at work, but let me be clear, these are by no means professional studio monitors. I just wanted to save some money. I wanted to test them out. Joe Cipriano uses these speakers in his booth, and if it's good enough for Joe, it's good enough for us. They are super, super affordable and more than enough for what we need to do. Portable monitor or tablet? Okay, so you're gonna need something to read off of when you're in the booth, and I don't know about you, but I hate reading from my phone and printing a bunch of trees. So I go with a portable monitor. In my booth at home, I have the Asus ZenScreen portable monitor that's connected via USB cable to my computer that's outside the booth. I just open my script on my computer outside the booth and just throw it over to the portable monitor that's inside my booth. And I have it set up like a portrait mode so that it's like a book. If you wanted to and you have a tablet, you could just use a tablet instead. Cables for your microphone and for your monitors. Now, you're gonna need some cables to plug your microphone into the interface and to plug your monitors into the interface as well. Okay, so Megami Gold. See you in the next video. No, but seriously, I would not get any other cables out there. Megami Gold are solid cables. They're quad shielded, so they shield you against a bunch of different frequencies. They last forever. I've had my cable for 12 years now, and I've never had a problem with it. I've never had to replace it. They sound fantastic. They're super durable. I wouldn't waste the money on another cable that I'm gonna have to replace in a month to 6 months because there's a problem with it, or it shorts out, or just stuff. With those cheaper cables, you just run the risk of having buzz, hiss, and hum and other issues in your audio, and we don't have time for that. Okay, now on to the holy grail, acoustic treatment and soundproofing. First, let me say, this is where you want to spend your money. Don't fall for the "you need a Neumann U87 microphone to have professional sounding audio." It's a fallacy. How you acoustically treat your space is 70 to 80% of what will make your audio sound professional. I can't say it enough. Another common problem that beginner voice actors face is they think that acoustic treatment and soundproofing are the same thing. They are not. With soundproofing, you're trying to keep sounds from getting into your space. That could be noisy neighbors, that could be street noise, that could be people mowing outside your place of business while you're trying to film a video. It could even be birds. But with soundproofing, you're looking for isolation, not absorption. Okay, that's acoustic treatment. So with soundproofing, we're looking to keep these sounds from getting into our space and into the audio. So with acoustic treatment, you're looking for absorption. You want to make sure that when you're speaking, your voice is not bouncing off a ton of hard surfaces and then bouncing right back into the microphone, which will make you sound boxy and echoey and reverby, and you don't want that. Some examples of acoustic treatment would be acoustic panels, foam, vocal booth to go sound blankets, clothes, cushions, pillows, blankets if they're dense and thick enough. And with soundproofing, you could look into covering some windows with particle board or with some soundproofing panels, or look into a company called Endo, which is awesome. You can send them measurements of your window and they'll send you an insert that goes into your window and suctions in there real good. Okay. If you would like to learn more about everything we covered and some, and master Adobe Audition or Audacity, you can sign up for my live class. I teach completely over Zoom, which means you can sign up and take the class no matter where you are. We cover so much in this class, so I'm just gonna throw up a list of what we cover here as I talk. The other great thing about the class is that I record each class and send it to everyone in an email so you can retake the class as many times as you want for the rest of your life. One of the other great things is through the entire 6-week course, I will help you get your specific space set up and ready to compete with the top level in the voiceover industry. Having your home studio set up properly is more important now than ever before. Another great thing is if you are unable to attend my live class for whatever reason, I also have pre-recorded versions up on our sister site over at provoiceovertraining.com, along with many other great voiceover courses that we will be adding monthly, so don't forget to go and check back with that site frequently to see what we've added. And finally, we have something here at Atlanta Voiceover Studio called the Mic Shootout. And if you would like to find out what your voice sounds best on, what we do is we take you back to our main studio with our main engineer, and they put you in the booth and they test out 10 high-end microphones to see which one your voice specifically sounds best on. Then we give you a sheet of those microphones along with a bunch of alternative microphones that sound like those high-end microphones because, my God, those high-end microphones are expensive. So you can actually afford these high-end microphones by buying the alternative microphones that sound very much like them. Technology is amazing. To sign up for that, just reach out to admin@atlantavoiceoverstudio.com and you can set that up. You can also book auditions and book jobs here at Atlanta Voiceover Studio as well. So if you have an audition and you can't do it from home for whatever reason, you can come and do it here. Also, if you have booked a job and you can't do it from your home studio or you need Source Connect or a phone patch or something else, you can also book a job here at Atlanta Voiceover Studio and record in our main studio. I really hope this video has been super helpful, and if you did like it, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe, and, well, you know what they say.